Hello, hello, hello! I'm back again, the Dungeon Minister, and I am here tonight with an unboxing. Welcome, everyone. Good to see some folks out there up late at night, as am I. It's not that late, actually. If you missed it today, there was another live stream. The Nerd Council of Doom met. Hello, Vincent. The Nerd Council of Doom met, and I had Bill and Yang over, Yang Zhou. I don't ever know how to say that last one. Had them over today, and we talked all things nerdy. So you can check that out in the replay if watching replays of live streams is the kind of thing you like to do. At any rate, tonight we have a box that has come, and I'm going to unbox the box. The box comes from Shadow and Sun. Shadow and Sun, before I get to the unboxing, because I do like to build suspense. Hello, Bob. Hello again, Bob. Shadow and Sun, if you don't know Shadow and Sun, their website, their YouTube channel, rather, is if you're on YouTube, you can find it, Shadow and Sun. I have included the sort of YouTube user tag in the description of the show down in the show notes, but I will, you know what, I'm going to add it in the chat as well. And I strongly suspect with this, you will need nothing more than this to find them on the tube of you. Shadow and Sun, they do all sorts of stuff. They'll do, Shadow will do just sort of gamer advice, DM advice. They'll do live streams where they pick a topic, and it'll be something like, for instance, it'll be something like sci-fi horror, you know, horror in a sci-fi game or something along those lines, or magic systems, which magic systems, the differences between all those kinds of things. And they'll start with the topic, and he'll have all sorts of guests on, and usually they'll go wildly off topic, sometimes because I left a comment in the chat and drove them off topic, sometimes just because that's what happens. But it's a great channel, and I do recommend it. I also want to direct you to, and I did not put this one in the show description, although I'll get it in there later. Hello, Michael Dale. Yes, we do need to do a little more planning on this one. But then there's only so many times, right, in the day. But I also want to send you there in the chat, and I'll put it up on screen. So the son of Shadow and Sun has begun a channel and is telling a story, and it's told in, it's sort of a dystopian paranoia kind of, like, not Paranoia the game, but like a paranoid dystopian future. And he's telling it in a sort of found footage way. So, there'll be clips that look like they're from a security camera, clips that look like they're from, body cam, bits that are simply a computer screen. And then there's animated parts, or sort of semi-animated. Animated is probably they're animated bits and acted bits. I'm told that Shadow, the dad, wore some, one of the big masks, and that was fun in the California heat. But at any rate, I just did some voices for an upcoming episode of that, of the Fourth Agenda. So I guess maybe it's the next one coming out. Maybe it's an episode or two down the line, but that's going to be coming out in a little while. So check that out as well. Tonight, we're mostly here to check out, however, the package that arrived in the mail. Now, Shadow said some while ago that, I've got this package I want to send you. Okay, that's cool. And I sent him my address, and I thought nothing more of it after that, because you back and forth with folks online, and I got a message from him saying, your package is on the way. I'm like, oh yeah, my package, and it showed up remarkably fast. Shadow, I know you're not there in the chat. He's also got something going on tonight. Speaking of trying to coordinate things, but I don't know what shipping he used. I guess I could look on here. looks like it's just United States Postal Service, but Nordic hath appeared. It showed up, I don't know, like 5 or 6 days later from California to Southern Ontario. It was crazy. Hello, Shadow. So yes, you're whatever that what voodoo you worked on the shipping. I don't know, but it was the fastest I'd ever gotten anything from the United States. My mother lives in Wisconsin, and packages from her don't get here that quickly. So I don't know what sort of wormhole you found, what sort of time loop you exploited to get the package there. But because Shadow is, and he wanted to see me open it, I'm going to do so while he's there. I'm holding it sort of awkwardly, trying not to show his name and address, because that would just not be fun for anybody. Anyone can know my name and address. Here I am. But we're going to open. Oh, drum roll first. Ooh, I'm not a drummer. Wow, I'm not a drummer. I don't have the rhythm of a drunk chicken, do I? No. Put the lock on your knife there, Father Aaron, or you're gonna be saying mass without any fingers tomorrow. Let's see. That is the front. Oh yeah, here it is. Is that the front? I don't want to just go randomly cutting this. Ah, there it is. So it's very mysteriously all black, which kind of fits Shadow's general vibe, kind of mysterious. Hello, Mercurius. Maelstrom Shipping Services. All right. It opens. Oh, my heavens. Holy cow. Holy cow, Shadow. Holy cow, son. Shadow, the sun, and the holy cow. What's inside here? Show you this. Bags. We have, oh my God. You know what these look like? These look like Next Level minis. Next Level, those are such cool. They have really good stuff. Look at all. Okay. Wow. Holy cow, Shadow. Son. Holy cow. There's a whack of bags in here. All right. I'm going to bring up, because I had kind of intimation that this might be it because of the size of the box. It clearly wasn't like a book, unless it was like a children's board book, which I do still enjoy. Okay. And we want the big one, though. If you want the big one, where we get the big one? No, not that way. There we go. And hopefully the focus works out. Wow. This looks like a, oops. Now that looks like a Goblin of Hob. I'll put them on the stage. Now they don't have, I got to glue these onto the bases. So they're, and of course I chose a gray background, which might not have been the best idea. Oh, get him on stage. Yeah. There's a, deploy the cam through the Shadow Zone. The whole first Kickstarter from Next Level Miniatures. Holy cow. That's why it's such a crowd of miniatures. So there's a whole bunch of stuff. There's a hobgoblin here. Here is an undead, like a ghoul or zombie of some kind, and another to match. And they have some sprues on them, but they're really easy to cut off. This is another, looks like another of the, I'm going to say that is also a hobgoblin with a big ol' axe. Hello, Lava Lord. Welcome to the Shadow Zone, Lava Lord. We are unboxing a mass of Next Level miniatures from Shadow and Son. And there's a spider here. The great thing with the spiders, oh, get on there. I have a player. I started a game at the local game shop, and we now play over at the parish just because, a lot of reasons, the scheduling, and at the game shop, the only time we really had to play was over dinner. And they have a restaurant at the game shop, but just can't afford to keep eating out so often. So we play at and then we either bring a frozen pizza or something, or order a pizza. But there's a lot of them. I'm not going to be able to put anywhere near all of them on here. There's a load of these. I think this one is largely, oh, nope. There's another guy in there. I'm just going to pull out the ones that are different, because I can't, there's like, because it's this big old load. There's a whole bunch of everything. It's a whole bunch of everything. Oh, Lava Lord. Okay, Lava Lord is the sun in Shadow and Sun. So Lava Lord is the one who is doing, as I put up there earlier, to check out the fourth agenda, as well as Shadow and Sun, the father-son team. Who is the Shadow and Sun you speak of? There is a Wolf of the Were there, which is great because lycanthropes do feature relatively prominently in our Honeywood campaign. There's something else in here. Oh, he's got a sprue on him, but I can just twist that off. They're really easy to get off. There's a big old toad. The camera's not great in terms of focus. My apologies for it. The thing when I go to use it, it won't let me use the good camera, the front facing. It only allows me to use the one that you look at. I guess it's the rear facing. I think those are the varieties. No. There's something else in here. There is a slide. Let's see. Oh, gosh, heavens. Yes, I was talking about Lava Lord. I was talking about the sort of found footage nature of your show and how sort of eerily strange it is. It's beautifully weird, and that I'm provided some voices. I mean, bit parts, nothing huge, but I provided some voices for an upcoming episode. I'm looking forward to hearing that. So that bag, the rest of this, like, I don't want to say this too loud because the boys are probably still awake, but a hobgoblin army, a whole horde of toads, cool, whole bag of stuff, very awesome. Oh my gosh. And Next Level, if you don't know them, they're relatively inexpensive, really, and really cool. So here is a bugbear. There's a bugbear with an axe. Friend. He's just going to stand in front of everybody. He doesn't care. He has sprues on the bottom of his feet, so he can't stand up. I find a razor blade takes those off beautifully. Oh dear. I'm sure they don't call it this because for copyright reasons, but we all know what that is. Doesn't matter. I'll see if I can. If it doesn't see me, will it focus on him? Doesn't matter what they call it. We know what it really is. Ah. He's not going to stand up because he's roly-poly. There's a little thing there. I bet there's a base in here for that somewhere. But until I cut the sprues off, it's not going to stand up anyway. So I'm just going to put it in there. Wow, guys, this is fabulous. Ooh. I think I know what this is. He's sort of he's got a blank face. Hello, Knick-Knack. 3 a.m. UK time. Good heavens. You are a crawling eyeball. You are up late in the UK or early. I don't know which end you go from, but boy, that's welcome at any rate. Bob just bought a batch of Next Level minis. They are excellent. They really are. They're very cool. So this guy's, I'm assuming there's a face in here, and judging by the position of it, it's going to end because of that tail. I'm thinking it's probably going to be a Minotaur's head. Just judging by the tail. We'll put him to the side and see. And here is half of a dog with multiple heads. I don't know how many heads because probably 3. It's probably a Cerberus kind of thing. But I don't know. I've got one. There could be 25 more heads. I don't know. Maybe if you glue them all together. But there's more to come on those because it's he's half the dog he used to be. Ooh, here we have what looks like some sort of iron golem or a living statue, an animated suit of armor kind of thing. Pretty cool. Yeah, the standing up is hard for them because the sprues. But again, once I cut the sprues off and glue them to a base. Ooh, this guy's nice. This guy's nice. He's pretty. This is what I like. What I really like about the Next Level miniatures when it comes to the PCs, the player kind of this is guy. He's got armor. It's nice looking armor. He's got a cape. It looks cool. He's got a sword, but that's it. Like, it's not. One of the things I find within Whiz Kids, sometimes they include two, one an early career, one later career. And the later career one, it's always so much. And the helmet always has some big thing sticking off it. And there's just so much going on. I like things really, really basic. I play basic. I like things that he's going to hide behind the werewolf because he can. Hello, Jay. Hello, Squirrel. Considering buying some miniatures in a few weeks, thinking of getting some Pendraken 10mm American Revolutionary War minis. Ooh, or some 15mm Punic Wars. See, they shrunk over time. The people got smaller as they got closer to the American Revolution. And then George Washington, he was very tall, actually only 2mm high. That's crazy. Well, I'm kidding, of course. I'm going to tell you, Squirrel, I have seen some of Squirrel Hermit's painting on these rinky-dink things. His 15mm look about as good as my 28mm. Honestly, he's just brilliant at it. I don't know how you do it. I do know you've got that big lens thing, and still got to get one of those. I haven't painted minis in a while. I'm going to have to get on it. Hey, Road. So then we've got this fellow who I would say ogre here. I'm going to say ogre or troll or troger or ole. He's holding a rock. He's going to stand right there because he can. No, he can't. Lean back, buddy. Lean back. There you go. He's pretty nasty looking. And I do love this. Fender washes would be great bases. They would. There's a whole bag of bases in here. There is a whole bag of bases in here. I'm glad you did too, Road. This is an air elemental. Looks a little bit like the Michelin Tar Man, but he's the air elemental, which I thought was a pretty cool guy. And this guy, if I knock off that sprue, I bet I can get him to actually stand on his own. So Nordic, you also paint at the 15mm. Are you also one of these people who seems to have magic eyes and can see that small? I'm astounded always. It's not even the seeing; it's the dexterity to control the brush. I usually paint in a sort of, ooh, and his friend Vassar. Now the focus isn't great, so you can't see him too well. You put him over here. It's a little better over there. A little better. Ooh. Ooh, ooh. Ooh, ooh, as in ooze. Ooze. I love metal minis for weight and being unique. Yeah, well, when I was playing, of course, it was just all metal minis. That's all I had. I never painted them because I knew that I would mess it up if I did. So I didn't do it. Cool. We are clearly on a theme here. This must be the E bag. The E's. Earth. Oh, Earth. Earth has fallen to the earth or to the wood, the table. There we go. Water can help prop him up. He's very cool. Metal miniatures are awesome. I'm just not. I have no confidence in my ability to paint those. No confidence. It would never stick. I know it. I know it already. If I could go back in time and get some of those little testers bottles, slather that on, yeah, that wouldn't come off. But I paint the minis with craft paints, for heaven's sake. It's insane. I know it's the purists out there are rolling their eyes or rolling. Well, they're not rolling in their graves because they're still alive. That's the fire guy. He's tough to see. He's right on the edge there. You know what? I'm just gonna go ahead and cover up water and earth so you can see fire. Come on, get in there. There's a sort of well, the fire went out. But yeah, I know. Hey, Warrior King. An 18 in dexterity, a 6 in eyesight. No, well, that Maybe I could look and you could paint. Yeah, the primer. Most of the minis we have are plastic. I just have um, 4 metal minis that I when we started playing again, I thought, well, minis. When I was playing, they were metal. I'm going to get some metal minis, and so the 4 characters are metal. Here is a very cool knight. He's just standing in the wreckage of all these other people because he can. Can he? No, he can't. Again, bases. If you can't even see that. Okay, you know what I'm going to do? Okay, everyone exit. Stage left. Yeah, I've got several long evenings of basing minis there. Knick-knack, I got several. Vallejo paints. I've heard good things about Vallejo, Army Painter. Yeah. Now this is one I got this my last batch. So now we'll have a little army of them. That's your miniature standing amid the wreckage of all the others. Well, that's what we all hope. We all hope. I think I'm going to be one of the ones laying there saying, "Oh, what happened? What happened? I wasn't able to stand." I think even cutting that off is not going to be able to stand. But they're not hard the sprues aren't hard to cut off. Hard to see that one in his best pose because of he tips. You can still get Tester's enamel. See, that was the day, because I never do my minis, but I did do models. I had a Messerschmitt, I had a Corsair, I had Centurion tank. And recently I bought, it didn't require painting, it was a Corgi model already all painted. I got an Avro Lancaster. Absolutely fabulous. The Lancaster featured in one of my favorite books as a kid. And actually you may know, let's make sure I've got the right person to the right story. I think it was Knick-knack who's in it was Knick-knack who's in the UK. You may know this because it's a thoroughly British book, Conrad's War. It's by Andrew Davies. I loved that book as a kid. Tracked down copies when we had boys. It's in my I have a little collection of books that are the How to Be a Boy. That's one of them. Rascal is another. The Hobbit is one. My Side of the Mountain. And what's the other one? Spirits to clean Tester's paint. Jay, I think you need spirits and a pressure washer. Those things, they do not let go. They do not let go. I found the other half of the puppy. Oof. Yeah, it's not going to stay together. I'm going to sand him up. It's not going to stay together, so you won't see him. And here we have, with the sprues on the bottom, it looks like a dwarf on ice skates. You can't really see the ice skates, but suffice to say, they're not wearing ice skates. You can kind of see it there. It's like he's wearing ice skates. Suffice to say, he's not. He's just has sprues that need clipping. Oh, here's a brute. There's a brute. He's as wide as he is tall. Hello, Cal. Better late than ever. Great book. I don't know which one you're talking about, Bob, but all of those were, I think, that I listed off. What was the last one? There was, because there's 5. My Side of the Mountain, Conrad's War, The Hobbit, Rascal, and Watership Down. Watership Down. They were, Jay, these are all from the wonderful fellows over at Shadow and Sun, from the Shadow and the Sun. This, I take it, is the base for the thing that isn't a beholder but is. We all know it is. We're pretending it's not. This is an arm. I didn't see anyone missing an arm. Maybe that goes to another bag, because I didn't find the face of the guy who didn't have a face, but maybe that's in another bag as well. There may be some interbag work here. And there is a basilisk. Pretty cool. And a fellow who does come with a little rocky base of his own. He's pretty happy about things because he can stand up. So he's got an axe and a sword. He's like, I have a base, so I'm going to have 2 weapons. So you guys were playing a game. Yes, Bob. Conrad's War is awesome. It is a fabulous book. I found it. I was into space aliens, and for some reason, the description in the card catalog in a little northern Wisconsin library that I was at said that it was about space aliens. There's some one line in the book. He says Conrad says, "Are you being taken over by aliens?" You know, but somehow the people who wrote up the description got that in their head. This was the day of card catalogs, and anyway, so I looked it up. You know, so I checked it out. Hey, Wave, how you doing? And read it, and I switched from being interested in aliens to being all about World War II. All about World War II. Holy cow. This is some big brute with a club here. So again, my camera's not great. I don't really have, I'm not set up for this. I don't do like a painting. The Worst Witch. I don't know the Worst Witch. Wouldn't that be a sandwich? No, sandwiches are the best witches. We got another. And this looks like a bag of heroes. Of course, I've taken them all out, so they're getting hopelessly mixed up. There's no. Oh dear. Looks like a serious fellow. Do I still have screen room? I still have screen room. It goes so much further over than I think it does. Serious looking fellow. Got to tell you, the OGGM named a character. Oh, really? Yes. No, I did hear about the Tyrannosaurus Rex pirate captain who wields a machine gun. I'm a Tyrannosaurus Rex with a machine gun. I like it. Pirate. Why not? Sand gets everywhere. Which witch? The sand witch. How about a man witch? I'm a man witch. You remember Manwich? They still make Manwich. Oh, he's not gonna stand up. He's not gonna stand up. I'll just show him to you on camera. He's not even gonna lean. He's not even gonna lean against the wall. It's magic user of some kind. He's not even gonna lean against the wall because he's top heavy that way. But once I glue him to a base, he'll stand up. That'll fix his wagon. Ooh, ooh, ooh. Squidward. Mind Flayer, which I assume is also not called a Mind Flayer on their site because they can't. He's got a major sprue action happening, so he's never going to stand. So I'm not going to even attempt that. Wow, this is the sort of player character batch, I think, or at least there's a wizard there. Pretty cool. Yeah, maybe you can stand behind the basilisk. Oh, no, he fell down. Well, wizards don't have many hit points, and he got that close to a basilisk. What did he expect? And we have a what's it called? Shaka with using magic, flames coming from his hands. An eye beast. There he is. Shh. That'll put a spoke in his wheel. This is awesome. Well, no, wait. The pirate captain almost died. Don't go naming characters after me and then killing them. Come on. You've got a can of Manwich in the pantry. General Nut. Stir. Good to see you. If they don't still make it, it's very, very old. Am I planning to, I don't know, paint these? I plan to paint all of them. I plan to paint all of my minis, the ones that I've bought, the ones that have been given to me. Oh, down goes the ogre, and oh dear, down goes the wall. All right. Okay, gotta clear the stage. Gotta clear the stage, guys. Gotta clear the stage. Who's that guy? Word Witch, Harry Potter at D20. Worst Witch. The MC is a girl. There's no Lord Voldemort. The late author didn't make questionable tweets. just magic. Let's see. He fought a golem by himself until he escaped. Well, I'm glad at least I was being heroic. God bless you, Bob. Hello, Young. I am going to have to enlist to the boys to help. Fleetwood in particular is pretty good at slinging the old colors around. Oh, we've got. Oh nope, doesn't want to stand up. She wants to relax. You know what, Jay? I am in this. I've got a couple of. This fellow looks like a godly cleric. Hey, let's get this ogre's back out of the way so you can see him. I have made progress, and there's another video that is coming out. I kind of stupidly filmed both an episode recap, a recap episode, and a castle crafting episode. So I'm sort of working on two fronts, which did not help my progress at all. Oh, there's a lot of wizards here. Oh, Wave knows that I'll forgive him. It's kind of in my job description. Oh, there we go. It's an elf archer. How long can I stream? I'm gonna go till about 11. I'm gonna tell you something. I'm terrible. I do not go to bed anywhere near on time. I don't go to bed anywhere near when I should. People are falling all over the place, but so I'll probably run to 11 o'clock here. So then another half hour. We got a blade dancer there. You're doing a Adventure Conqueror King thing. We've got a looks like a thief. I'm gonna say some people just gonna go to the back row because there's not enough room. Not behaving, you're misbehaving, and admitting to do so. Yes, it's all right. All right, there's whoa. Now he's all in pieces, so I'm not going to be able to show him to you. But there is a dragon here, and indeed, the head of a minotaur. You can't see that; it just looks like a gray blob to you. But there's the head of a minotaur, so that's in there. I've got to put this guy back in the bag because I need to know where those parts are. I don't want to be hunting around for those. And let's remember the minotaur is in there with. Cool. You know what? I do have Clericon coming up, and that's the real push for me on that fort. I want it done for Clericon. I can tell you what I have been up to, and I will be releasing the video in a little bit. I'm close to being done with the recap episode. The Clericon fort. I have been etching the they have drunk too much booze. I've been etching the brick lines in, and I go over them with a Alzheimer's razor blade and then a pencil to widen it. And I am finding that the thick blue foam I'm using I'm glad I used it. It's sort of one shot and done. I don't have to. I was doing styrofoam and then wrapping the styrofoam with foam core, and it was not going to work. It wasn't looking great. The one downside on this blue stuff is it is not as soft. So it doesn't hold, like doing the texturing. I mean, you can see that that wall behind them. That wall is actually floor that Battle and Barrow made that actually. It was on the top of our box of terrain stuff. Although the very fine detail that gets cut into the foam and the pink stuff, it works. This doesn't really. So it doesn't hold as fine of detail, but all things considered, I'll take it. This looks like and I'm not a Balrog, but we all know that I'm a Balrog, and I'm holding about 3 parts together. There's a couple of smaller ones in there that go onto it. Yeah, the pink insulation is what I would use for dungeon tiles. I've used it for lots of stuff. But in order to get walls that are 10 feet thick, you need 2 inches. And so I got some 2-inch thick insulation foam. And it's great. It works beauty. It's nice to just cut it to the right, height and length. But it does have the issue that it doesn't quite take the detail as well as the pink stuff. Not quite. Not quite. Last bag, folks. Good heavens. Okay. Drunkards, clear the stage. Drunkards, clear the stage. There we are. It's like a Monty Python animation. All right. Get off the stage there. Oh. Little member of the Cobalt Corps. Right here. Little member of the Cobalt Corps. In case you don't know what anyone was talking, I think everyone here probably has heard me talk about it ad nauseum and is tired of it. But if you don't know, Claricon is an in-person convention that is happening. It happened last year, and it's on again this year. It's October 25th through 27th in the metropolis of Glen Williams, Ontario. And if you look up Glen Williams, Ontario, you will see that the word metropolis is used liberally. Tiny little village, a beautiful little village, though. Lovely little place. And there's another one of those guys, but he's got a major sprue going on. So until I clip that off, he isn't standing. He won't stand for this. He won't stand for anything. So the doubles I won't put out. This guy looks wicked. He's a goblin skulking or something. No, there are a couple. The first one I put down is kobold, and then a couple of what look like goblins or redcaps. This guy's some sort of horrible. He's got sprues sticking up, so it's difficult to see his actual shape. But and I'm just going to go for the ones that we don't already have one out there. I think I've got this guy out already. Yes, here we go. Ooh, here's a skelly. Here's a skelly. Oh, okay. Stand. Oh, of course you didn't stand as you fell down. There we go. Skelly on the wall. He won't stand for anything. He'll lay down for it all. Okay. You stand everything. You won't stand for anything. Some repeats on the Skelly, which is awesome. The Horde of the Damned that Paint Minis Live sent is getting some company. There's a Gargoyle. Excuse my hand. It's the only one I have. No, I don't. I have two. But they both look the same. Hello, Jimmy. Yes, there is, under all of this, there are two. Actually, I was wrong. That was not the last bag of minis. There is yet another bag of minis in there. There's also two enormous bags of just chock-a-block with bases. So yeah, I got bases going on forever. And if I didn't, I would take Squirrel's idea and go with the well, she's not gonna stand up either. Oh, I took him down. Go with washers. But let's see. There's some repeats there of that cool, lots of new Skellies. Bulking up the army there is. That might be a red cap, actually. That guy might be a red cap. Oh, that's new. That's new. What's new? What's new with you? This guy's sort of a rat. I'm gonna get him to stand up. No, he doesn't want to stand. He's sort of a ratish figure. That's a cloak. He's all cloaked up. I really should get a better camera if I'm going to do this kind of stuff. I just don't do it often enough to warrant the expense there. Let's see. Most of the rest appear to be doubles of those things. So it's like a whole army in there. You could get a whole army of all the guys you've seen on screen. You got a little army of them. There's a bunch of doubles. A were rat. It's their rat. It's there. There. And in this one, we got Dark Castle. Why are you talking that way? I thought you wanted to talk that way. I don't want to talk that way. Oh, I'm easy. We have a Knoll, and he did eat some beans, so he's a gassy Knoll, but he's got a Morning Star. Hey, you go Shadow and say hello to the folks over there. And hello, Iowa Woodsman. Something less intense. Well, Jimmy will try to be less intense. That sounds like it's not going to be terribly difficult to come in under that level of intensity. That Knoll, I think there's an arm floating around in here. He looks like he has a socket for one. Ooh. This guy also has got a socket for another arm. I don't know what that other arm will be doing, but he looks pretty wicked. He looks bestial. Some repeat. Oh. I've got the urge to sturge. Pretty cool. Pretty cool. Teensy, teensy. Teensy, teensy. I could put him down there, but I don't think it's going to. With the quality of my camera, I think it'll just end up looking like a blob. But in person, it looks awesome. What, you disagreeing about something on the line? Come on, Jimmy. Nobody has any arguments on the internet. Doesn't happen. Doesn't happen. It's nothing but amity and kindness and love everywhere you go. Here's another half of a critter. A little kind of. Am I starting to escape an army? I don't know. There's all sorts of craziness here. Yeah, that one's not going to stand. It looks like the Knoll's other hand is holding a wooden shield. Why am I showing you that? That looks just a gray blob. I could be holding up anything. Trust me, in person, it looks awesome. I think the rest are repeats and like loose pieces of things that, yeah, like the claws of various critters. So, holy cow. That's a lot of minis. So, yeah, I think I'm going to have to be enlisting the boys' assistance in this. I'm going to pick through it though, and take out the ones that I definitely wanted to spring on them. But then I will enlist their help for some of the ones that I did get the hookup. Oh, I tell you, Mike, next level minis, they're fabulous. They're fabulous stuff. Actually, you know what? I didn't even look at this because I was getting ready ahead of time, and I was sort of rushed because I got the boys in bed, and I did a stream earlier, and I set up the camera and I set up the microphone and I had all this stuff, and then afterward I took it all down. Like, what are you doing? And because that's the way I am. I'm sort of anal retentive, and I'm done with that. I have to put it away, even though I was going to come back on. So I was setting it all back up after I got the boys in bed, and I took the label off the box in case it showed, because again, I didn't want to show addresses and that kind of stuff. And I probably could have just looked, because right there, that's what it is. I didn't even take that. I just slipped the thing off and tore the label and tossed it. They're from Next Level. They're from Next Level, and oh, Shadow, absolutely not. I'm in yours. I mean, look at the well, you can't. I turned the camera off, but good heavens, the small army of beasties and ghoulies and heroes to fight them. Absolutely fabulous. Thank you so much. So cool. Yeah, I was getting ready. I took the label off, and I didn't even. I saw it was a guy, the sword, and I forgot that was actually the Next Level symbol. Yeah, That's why I love these guys. I really like their take on um, the elementals. I really do. I like their take on the elementals. And you can feel how squishy and wet that guy is. Where is he? Where did fire go? Someone fired him. Where'd he go? Oh, nope. Is that him? That's him. Yeah. This one has, it's difficult to say because again the detail with my camera isn't great, but there's sort of like a skull set in there. It has almost Ghost Rider vibes to it. It's pretty cool. It's pretty cool. They are, you know what they are? They're good sculpts and they are not expensive. You know, I mean, well, I mean, you buy this many, it adds up. But no, they're really good sculpts, and some of the poses are very cool. I also like, as I said earlier, the hero ones. They're very. Guess what it is they're neutral enough. They look cool, but they don't have very specific things on them which you may not have added to your character, right? Like they're basic enough that it could be anyone's character. This could be any fighter. This could be any magic user. You know, within range. You can. There's character to them, but not character that demands a quirk kind of thing. That's just what I can't find any more articulate way of saying that. They're quirky enough to be interesting, but not so quirky that they could only be one thing, I guess is what I'm trying to say. Yeah, Cal, you've got in the thousands of unpainted minis, just the unpainted ones. So whenever I think I have so many minis that I need to be painted, I think of you and I feel better. I do. I have to admit, because I have, you know, I have enough to be getting on with, and certainly I have enough now to be getting on with. But you have to have like a whole extra building for yours. Yeah, 15,000 or so. Yeah, I don't like to let my boys hear about that because, good heavens, what they would do. Miniatures, not music. Yeah. When I said, when I was playing, you know, when I, as a teenager back in the day, I had nothing but metal minis, and we never even used them in the game. Like, I didn't have terrain. I didn't put out a map, a paper, anything. I had these minis, and they were on my dresser in my bedroom. They were all just set up, not even in a scene. Like, the dwarves were all together, the elves were all together, the goblins were all together. I didn't even think I had that many goblins. What did I have? I guess I had a couple dragons. I had skeletons. I didn't have a lot of goblins, and they just sat on my dresser. Never did anything with them. I don't know why. I didn't even. Yeah, Grenadier and Ralpartha. Those are the ones I had. Mostly Grenadier. I didn't even go up, you know, like when they met something. I didn't even go up to my room and grab the mini and say, you know, it looks like this. You know, I didn't even do that. They stayed in my room and they weren't part of the game at all for me. I did not paint them because I was afraid to. I'm still afraid to paint metal minis. So, you know, I just, that was all I had. And I will say, that's one thing I do appreciate. The plastic, I feel braver about painting. I do paint them. Well, I mean, I'm willing to paint them. I don't get to all of them like everyone. I have my shelf of shame, but yeah, so I like the plastic better that way, because I will paint them. I will use them on the board. We use the metal minis in our game. We use the 4 characters have metal minis. They do look kind of out of place when everyone else is painted. They're not, but there it is. So Cal's mostly into the fantasy sword and sorcery. 1979. What was it, Road? What was the mini from 1979? I had, when I first started, the first minis I had were given to me by the same fellow who gave me my first dice. And if you go to my channel, the banner across the top has the dice I used as a kid. Now the 6 and the 20 were not in that collection, but there was a couple of the 20s that went up to 0 to 9 twice. I didn't really quite understand how that all worked. And the books I had, the BECMI books, were all said to 1 to 20. But there was a great bookstore in downtown Janesville. I grew up in Janesville, Wisconsin. There was a great bookstore. They had a section of role-playing games, had a wall of minis, and then they sold tubes of dice, but they also had a like a goldfish bowl. Here's the basket full of dice, odds and ends, and you could just pick one. It was like a quarter or something for a dice, and I found a red 20. And when I found the red 20, because I'd just been using a white, 6-sider with pips. When I found the red 20, I thought there's got to be a yellow 6 in here, because then I'll have, the rainbow. And they did. They had a yellow 6, so I bought it. Janesville Road March? Do you march down that road often, Road March? Do you know the enormous cow, the hermaphrodite cow at the edge of town? Horns, udder, all over the place. Yeah, head magnifier. I need one of those. Yeah, I need one of those. An original basic set. Them's were the days, Squirrel. Them's were the days when you had nothing but time. I think now about the map I made. I photocopied the hex page out of the expert book like 50 times. And I taped them together and I made a map. And I swear this piece of paper was probably 6 sheets by 10 sheets, right? I kept it all folded up, and I'd unfold this thing across the floor, and it was the whole world that I'd made up. And just sitting there filling that out, because there weren't any computers to do it with. These colored pencils, line and dot for the deserts, and green lines. So it was a dark yellow line and dot for the desert, and green lines for the grasslands, and a brown line, and then a green scribble for a tree, for a forest. Man, just crazy. The guy who has all the molds. See, here he is in Tempting. Fort McCoy, Wisconsin. Fort McCoy. The real McCoy or the Fort McCoy? You've been painting, Mark Dickey's been painting while listening to the stream. Excellent, excellent, Mark. What are you painting? What do you got going on? And Cal's painting frogs, waiting for a sealant to dry. He's got a frog and seals. Awesome. The rules cyclopedia. Wouldn't mind getting the BECMI box sets though. Yeah, I was always the BECMI guy, and English Civil War. Cool. I never got into the rules cyclopedia. I think it came out near the end of when we were playing, and I could have grabbed it. I could have. It would have meant dragging along much fewer, far fewer books, obviously. But by then, I knew exactly where in each book what table or reference I wanted was. If I had to look something up, there was no. Now, brain cells are dying rapidly, so when I go to look something up, it's like flip, 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 flip. Back then I knew just where to find it. So it wasn't even a problem of shuffling through the books. Speed paint makes things much easier. With this haul, and with some minis I bought for myself recently, and some that have just lingered on in desperation, hoping to be painted, I may I may break down and try some actual paint rather than a craft paint, because craft paint, I mean, it ain't designed for this. It's great for terrain, but then I'll do. No, Nordic says otherwise. I don't know. I don't know. I could try it. I guess I could buy like 2 or 3 colors on it for one mini, try it out, see how I like it. Um, I don't know why I hear their pitiable cries for paint. Yes, you can hear the. I don't know why it's called speed paint. Working on some terrain for the Tomb of the Lizard King. Contrast speed paints make things way faster. How does it make it faster? I do need to know that. I don't need to know that, but I want to know that. How does it make it faster? Do you like, how did I do that? Or what? What happens? I don't know. Space Marines, Eldar, Imperial Guard, Empire, Skaven. So much brown. Take some experimenting. They're a boon. Okay, I still don't know what makes them speed, though. I know they're a boon. I know they take some experimenting. Similar to a wash. Okay. So it collects in some places and drips off in others, and it goes less coverage in others. So you get shades and whatnot without applying specifically. I never do that anyway. If one of my minis has blue pants on, his pants are just blue. The only shadows on there are the shadows from the actual light hitting the mini, because that's well past me. Over white or off white primers. So on these, well, you need to be primed anyway. These all need to be primed. There's still sprues on them and stuff. So I keep picking up this guy. I really love that. Yeah. Well, we shall see. I probably, frankly, the way I paint, it would probably make most of you guys just spin. Again, I'm putting in your graves early. Make you tear your hair out. I want to say spin in your graves because that's like shows how utterly offended you'd be, but I don't actually want you to be dead. Look up Slap Chop. Slap Chop speed paint. Yeah. Hopefully, yes. Well, Bill is going to be here for Claricon. He's coming to Claricon, and we're gonna get him set up with the booth and doing some painting. And while he's here, I'm gonna ask him I'm gonna commission him, hire him to do this little guy. He's Bob Johnny runs a game for me, a one-on-one game. Although Fleetwood joined it once or twice. And this is my mini for that game, and he's obviously not painted. And I thought about doing it. It's like I really would like it done really well, and I'll get Bill to do it. So anyway, so it's yet one more of my minis that doesn't have any paint on him. Who don't like painting? Well, there it is. I have to say, I like the end result, and I kind of like the process. Kind of. I don't like, as evidenced by the fact that I still have unpainted, even with as few minis as I have, I still have unpainted ones. Relatively few minis now. I've got a couple of them, but I still have unpainted ones because I don't like to feel like I have to do this. I don't like there's enough of my life. There's things that I must do that have to be done, and I don't want to add one more. So, anyway, always season to your taste. Well, that's it, right? I mean, whoever likes you do the thing that works for you. Do the thing that works for you. Yeah. Yeah. So you paint this the Nordic for you. The painting is part of it. My wife knits, and for her, the knitting, the activity is part of it. For me, I want to see a scarf, a hat. You know, like if it was me, I would just zoom through it till I had a hat, and I'd wear the hat, and I'd be happy with the hat. It's not something I would do for relaxation, but for her, the process itself, she'll knit something and then pull out all the stitches, pull it back to a ball of yarn, and stick it back in her yarn basket and pull it in their. It, I, I like the building process. I deal with the end result. It's the cost and the cleanup I dislike. Well, there you are. There you are, General. Um, I gotta tell you, you know who doesn't like the cleanup? My boys. They have gotten. They've been watching a lot of Mage's Musings channel, and he uses the Order of the Stick, the monster for every season. Those little paper tent, it's got the front of the monster, back of the monster. It's an inexpensive way to get a massive, massive set. And if you're not a mini painter, this isn't what you do for a hobby. You just want something on the board to represent your character, and they're funny. I'm going to grab one empty screen for a moment. I'll be right back. One, I mean, they've been cutting these out, and they're fun. I like the here's a sort of a giant mer creature. I like the look on their faces. He looks like, I don't know, he looks like he's sort of disappointed, a little disconcerted to see the adventurers down there. Whereas this one seems much happier about the whole idea. This fellow is not having a good day, maybe because that tooth is bothering him, and they're all, even the really, kind of hideous creatures, they're sort of sweet in a way. Anyway, they've been doing these, so this is, I think, quite cool. Speaking of elementals, pretty good. They are great for kids, and they have been cutting these out. They pooled their money to buy the books. Each of them has, and that's only 2 books in, and they're not done cutting up their second book. Yeah. So it's fun, they're fun. But what they do is all the scraps around the edge of the page and between sections, because the minis are kind of in sections. Frost giant here. Dragon. The minis are in sections, and the little schnipsels of paper that are between these things all over. What did the fire elemental say to the water elemental? Order of the Stick, indeed. I'm waiting for what the fire elemental says. He just steamed. Oh, Nordic. You said earlier you don't ask for forgiveness. I think you might need to. Good heavens. Oh well. So yeah. So we've got loads of these, and there's just schnipsels of paper everywhere. It is. I'll tell you something, Bob. Because I print them up at the church. It's got an industrial, copier printer thing, and it's a few cents a sheet to print them in color, and cheaper to print them in black and white. Bob Johnny wanted his in black and white. Touchberry and Fleetwood wanted them in color. But I print them up and I'll bring them home, and they were, oh great, they get them. They go into the kitchen and they sit at that kitchen table, cutting out minis, cutting these things out and taping them together in the whole 9 yards. They can be there happy as clams for like an hour, hour and a half. Snip, 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 snip. It's a beautiful thing. A beautiful thing. They do. The minis do fit the tone of the recaps quite well, don't they? They do fit quite well. All right, folks. We are at well, slightly over an hour now, and I have played in his game, Cal. He is. He is. Uh, oh, knick-knack. Yes, and Shadow and Sun, I gotta say, in addition to the things I said earlier about the live streams about the topic and DM advice and that kind of stuff, they had I haven't seen him in a while. I mean, I think Sun's, he's getting older and he's his own man, but they were doing the treasure chest thing. This is full of coins and painting minis together and showing off the stuff that they'd been painting. It was really quite sweet. It was really quite cool. So anyway, as I said, do go check out Shadow and Sun. Do go check out the fourth agenda, and you all have yourselves a wonderful, wonderful night. Take care. Thank you again, Shadow. Thank you again, Sun, and I will see you online.